डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी।
Hello friends, welcome back. In last session we have learned about Android native content providers and how to query Android native content provider and steps to create your own content provider. In today's session we will write down one demonstration to query context that is stored on your phone using Android native content provider. So, let us start this demonstration. This is our welcome to Android Studio dialog box. So, I have already written one project called display context in Android Studio. So, I am clicking on that. Now, it will open that project inside Android Studio, right? So, first we will understand project structure. So, here you can see there is one activity called main activity and one layout file is there which is activity underscore main as usual. For display context we require read context permission, right? So, we must include that permission inside our Android manifest.xml file. So, I am clicking on that. You can see that this line uses dash permission and then you have to provide name of permission which is android.permission.read context. Now, read context is dangerous permission. So, you have to explicitly ask user to grant this permission. So, we will ask user to grant this permission at runtime. So, remember to include this line in your manifest file before application tag, right? Now, let us understand our interface. So, our interface is very simple. It has only two controls. The first control is button with ID button 1 that you can see from attribute window, and we have one list view with ID list view 1. So, it is a very simple interface, and what we want to do we have already discussed. When user clicks on display context button, it will display context stored on your phone inside this list view. So, I hope you understand how to create this layout file. You can quickly create that layout file, right? Now, let us go to coding part. So, here you can see I have declared one list view. 2 refers to list view in layout file. Now, I have declared one array list. So, array list is a data structure that stores list of strings, right? And it is a dynamic data structure. So, at runtime you can add data to array list. Why we have not taken simple string of array? Because we do not know how many contexts are there in your phone. It may be 10, it may be 100, it may be 1000 or more than that. So, for that to dynamically allocate data we have to declare array list. So, for that we declare this array list of type string and name of variable or object is all context. To actually display data inside list view we require array adapter, that we know. So, I have declared one array adapter, then cursor object is required to get data from content provider, and we want to retrieve two data, name and phone. So, I write down name and phone. This permission code is required to get runtime permission from user, and we have one button control. Inside on create we first specify set content view which is our layout file with name activity underscore main, and I write down list view button. I write down code to initialize list view and button control using find view by ID method. We must create instance of array list before adding data to array list. So I write down all contacts is equal to new array list of type string, and initially it is empty, but we can always add data to these array list at runtime using add method. We fetch contacts name and phone number one by one, and we will add that contact number and name inside these array list. Now I have write down one simple function to enable runtime permission. So this is a user defined function which actually requests user to grant permission. So first we will understand this function or method enable runtime permission that we write here. So here on screen you can see it does not take any argument, it has no return type, and using activity compact static method should show request permission ratio null. The first is a context which is main activity dot this, and second is the permission that we want to request. So what permission we want to request? We want to request permission to read context. So second argument is the name of permission that you ask to user. So if user grant this permission, we display toast that contacts permission allow us to access contacts app. So we provide ratio null that this permission allows us to access contacts app, and inside else part we write down actual permission request. So first is a context, second is a list of permission. So here we write down manifest.permission.read context. You can request multiple permission separated by comma here, and it returns this request permission code. So here I write down 1. Now how can we know whether permission is granted or not? So that value is stored inside this request permission code. Once user clicks allow or deny, on request permission result method is called automatically. So this callback is called, and inside RC we get 1 if it is granted, and these are the list of permission and these are the list of results for each permission. Now we write down switch on RC. So if it is 1, that means request permission code case, then we check whether result array length is greater than 0 and first permission is granted, then we display toast permission granted. Now your application access context. But if it is denied, then it goes to else part and we write down permission is revoked. Now your application cannot access context. So remember to implement these on request permission results so that we can know whether permission is granted or not. Now let us go to these button clicking. So inside, before displaying contact inside list view, we call this method get context into array list. So again this is a user defined method that we write down to fetch actual data from our contexts and assume that all records are available inside that array list. So we can write down array adapter is equal to new array adapter and it is of type string. 3 arguments are: first is context, second is how we want to display list, so second specifies inbuilt layout, and third is a array or array list which actually displays or holds context information, and then we can set adapter to array adapter. So it actually populates that data stored inside all contexts. Now let us try to understand get context into array list method, which actually fetch data using content provider into our array list, all contexts. So this is get context into array list. So we have already discussed this. Using get content resolver, we can query particular content provider. So here I have to write down get content resolver dot query method. Now from where we want to retrieve data? We want to retrieve data from this content provider. So we write down context contract dot common data kinds dot font dot content URI, which actually specifies location of our contact. Then projection, selection argument and sort order is set to null. So all data from contact table is retrieved. Now here we write down while loop as we discussed earlier, traverse records one by one until end of table is reached, and inside name we want to get string data type at index specified by these column. So basically this highlighted text refers to column name, and we get using get column index, we get index of that column from table, and at that index whatever value is stored we will fetch using get string method. So this refers to column name, this will return index of that column, and at that column name whatever value is stored we fetch inside variable name. Similarly, we will fetch phone number using this column. So this is column name, this method get column index return its column index from table, and from that column we fetch string value into phone. And after fetching name and phone number of first contact, we call add method of array list to add that name, colon and phone number concatenated with each other into all contexts. Similarly, when we fetch second contact, its name and phone number is stored inside name and phone, and using add method we will add one more record in all contacts. Now these will continue until all records are fetched from table and added to all contacts array list. So this is, we can say, array list is a dynamic array, and using add method we can add data into it at runtime. So after traversing loop or fetching all the records, cursor should be closed. Now you can understand what will happen after executing these user defined function. Stores all context inside these array list called all context, and here you can see after we create adapter using same and we set list view adapter to array adapter, it can actually display all context, right? So let us execute this code inside our device. So here you can see my device is attached now. Now I can run this app inside my phone. So I am clicking on run app. So Gradle build is running. Now it is installing that app inside my phone. Now application is launched. Now let us see phone. So immediately after this installing app, so it is asking me to allow or deny permission. So I am clicking on allow. So we display permission granted. Now your application can access context, and when I click on these display context, it will fetch all the context from my phone and display it on screen. So I am clicking on display context. So you can see my all contexts are fetched, that you can see on the screen. So, since we have used list view, we can also have scrollable facility to traverse between different records. So, this is how we can display records, right? So, I hope you understand these. So, friends, in this demonstration we have learned how to fetch all the context that is stored on your phone using native content provider, right? Similarly, you can also fetch other information that is stored on your phone using any other native content provider. So, I hope you enjoy this session and demonstration. Thank you and happy learning.
स्वाध्यायः परमः